The football season starts tonight. Rematch of the Super Bowl, the Panthers against the Broncos. We'll make our pick a little bit later on, but we get into the football swing of things. And we're so excited that we're going to have Justin Tuck on with us throughout the year. I'm not excited about the fact that Justin's going to Wharton, where he completely then becomes too bright for us to talk to. So, Justin, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Wharton? Really? What are you going to do? What's going on?
Hey, man, I mean, I don't think there's ever been a time when somebody said, I'm to learn that. So,
do you have the cardigan sweater and the corduroys, the whole deal for Wharton?
We lost him.
We lost him already?
Oh, yeah.
The first time?
Yes. If this is going to be a Damian Woody repeat, then we need to.
How is it that the richest athletes don't have good cell phone service?
I just think it's cell phones in general, Michael.
You think they still haven't figured it out?
No.
Justin.
Yeah.
You got to get it. That's the first thing they teach at Wharton. You have to have better cell phone service.
Well, you'll be surprised that I got an event to do tonight in the city, and I had to jump on a train, so I'm actually sitting in a quiet cabin in the train. So that might be one of the reasons why my service went out right there. But I don't think that's going to happen again.
All right, let's talk about this Giant team. So bad defensively last year. They spent so much money on the defensive side of the ball. How can they turn it around so drastically in 1 year? Are they able to do it?
Yeah, I think they can. Obviously, they ramped up on the talent level on the defensive side of the ball. When you do that, the only kind of worries I have on that is that you got a lot of new faces that have to have time to gel. A lot of times, people don't take into account that talent just doesn't come out and just starts working well together when it's assembled. So, I mean, it might be a little learning curve there, but I think by mid-season that'll be a well-oiled machine for Big Blue. That's how I feel. And plus, I think Eli's and that offense is still pretty stable, even though I'm worried about that O-line a little. But I'm confident that this team will be I ain't gonna say drastically better than what they were last year, but I think going into it, they have a great shot of coming out of the East.
I think what's great about what you just said is I don't think it has to be drastically better, at least on the defensive side of the ball, for the team to improve. I mean, that's how bad it was last year. But, Justin, we've talked about this before. You, OC, Antrel Roll, a lot of leadership left that locker room over the last few years. What does it take to be a leader, and are you comfortable with some of the knowledge you have about that room, with a new coach coming in, that there's enough leadership in that room, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to get back to what this team used to be?
That's tough, man. I think leadership is one of those intangibles that obviously you cannot kind of measure, but when it's there and when it's not, and teams that don't have it struggle mightily, I think. And I think that's one of the Giants' problems, because they are lacking leadership, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I think. And, Eli is not the vocal guy. He's the guy that's going to obviously be consistent in how he goes about doing his things. And if players really watch him, then that's the type of leadership that he shows. I think myself, guys like Antrel, guys like that were more of the vocal kids who, guys' faces when need be, but also to stand back and take criticism from younger guys as well. So that I think that part of leadership is over the last few years.
Now, the main guy has to be the head coach, and that's Ben McAdoo. Now, he's been here 2 previous years as the offensive coordinator, but how much time does it take for a guy to get his footing, to be that leader, to all of a sudden take his attention away from the offense, and you have to look at all aspects of the team? And how long will it take him to get the respect of the team?
I mean, it's a learning curve. I think it is a learning curve for him. This is, from my knowledge, his first head coaching job. Obviously, everyone knows his expertise on the offensive side of the ball. And sometimes when you have a very strong defensive coordinator, then you don't really have to cross as much. But I think from what I've seen from him early in his tenure here, it's been the team really enjoys him. I think the contrast between him and what Coach Coughlin is has been kind of received well. And, like I said, I think it's going to be a learning curve for him. I think he's a smart guy. He's definitely a football guy that will learn how to integrate himself into what is needed from that standpoint. I don't think he knows right now. Maybe he does. But again, as the season goes on, I think you'll see, that improvement start to take place.
Talking to Justin Tuck here on the Michael Kay Show, getting ready for the Giants opener against the Cowboys, and we know how important that first game is. Also, when you add it to a divisional rivalry, we had Rashad Jennings on yesterday. He said it counts as 2 games. So I think it's been like 10 straight losses on opening day against the Dallas Cowboys, and it was an awful loss last year. Do some of those players take that loss last year, use it as motivation, or do they just completely discard it and not think about it and just focus on the present?
I hope they use it as motivation. I would. I know for me personally, I always got really, really excited to play the Cowboys, especially when it fell on opening day. And again, I agree with Rashad. It is 2, but also to the point that it's early in the season. And I mean, I've won Super Bowls where we didn't start the season well, so you put emphasis in it, but it's not as much as like a do or die game or something like that. But it's the opening week, man. Everybody's gonna be excited to play, and the energy level is gonna be going. And I think for the Giants, they really have to understand that they haven't done well lately, and maybe they do want to come out and start fast.